Hello, everybody. This is Matt McCall. Thanks for joining me. It is, I fixed my hair. I just got a shower to the gym. I don't know what day it is anymore. August 19th. It is 2 p.m. East Coast time. Thanks for joining me. We're going to go through a couple different things here today. I was talking about the market because we've had a bit of a turnaround, and I'm getting this sense that there's this panic. And as much as I like that, I don't like it because I don't want you all to be panicked. So I want to talk about that, and I'm going to go through a bunch of stocks that I see as opportunity, long-term opportunities in companies. I said tech, but there are also other related stocks that are just in long-term trends. So I want to talk about that as well. And of course, take your questions that come through here. I'm on a side over there. Thanks everybody for joining me. Everybody saying where they're from, North Carolina, Israel. I love all the people from all over the world. And we'll do that. We'll run through that today. But I sent out a tweet early this morning and basically alluded to the fact that I can't remember the exact words, but I'm buying when everybody's panic selling. And I've done some buying this week for myself, and I'll tell you why. Because I see a lot of great long-term opportunities. I have some cash on the sidelines, so I was looking to buy in to great companies that I feel will be much bigger down the road. And I've gone over this a few times in the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to do it again. And it's very simple. When you look at a company, and it's not a stock, I almost want to get rid of that word, but I love the stock market. It is an actual company. It's not a ticker symbol. It's not a stock. You're actually buying a piece of a company. Granted, unless you're a big whale out there, you're buying a very tiny piece of a company, but you're buying a piece of a company because you profit and make money only if that company does well over time. So you have to ask yourself every single time you buy into a company, do you think it will be bigger in 3, 5, 7, 10 years from now? If you say to yourself, well, Matt, I don't know if it's going to be bigger in 1 year. It could be, but the problem is that is still short term. A 1-year time frame can have a company / stock all over the place because there could be outside factors. There could be just the fact the market is selling off at that time because there are corrections that happen between 10 to 20% pullbacks about every 13 months. There's bear markets that happen every couple of years, a pullback of over 20%. And typically the innovation / growth stocks will get even harder because they're a higher beta. So you don't know when that's going to happen. Nobody does. So you can't look at it in 1 year because I don't know, but I'm pretty confident if I look 3, 5, 7, 10, yes, I'm going to look at that company being bigger. We got 4 countries in here today. We got Israel, US, Germany, and Canada. I'm up in Montreal. Fantastic. Thank you. So yes, we want to continue to say that every single day, okay? Say to yourself when you look at we'll call it a stock, but it's a company. Look at that stock or look at that company that we want to make sure that we believe it's going to be bigger in a few years from now, 3, 5, 7, 10 years. Okay, that's very, very important. Unless you're a trader, but what I do really is not for trading. Yeah, I cut my teeth on reading charts. I could read them great. Scotland, we got a 5th country. All right, Julie. So to me, I really think we need to always look at it in that light. So when I set out this morning, I'm buying, and the reason I've been buying for my own money is because I believe there's a lot of great companies out there right now. Again, I don't know where it's going to be in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year, but pretty good inclinations to be higher in a year, but I don't know that. But I do believe they'll be much higher in the years ahead. Hong Kong, what's that? 6 countries now. 6 out of 81 people. That's pretty good. That's a heck of a ratio. What is that? Is that Denmark? Somebody's put that flag in there. I love my flags. I think that's Denmark. You have to. Oh, Lithuania. Somebody's from Lithuania. Michael Lynn. We're from India, Greece. Are you just making this shit up now? Just making up countries? Not where your family's from. Where are you today? Wow, that's unbelievable. Yes, Denmark. Wow. I will say Copenhagen is probably one of my top 3 favorite cities in the world. Probably my top 3. It really is. It is. If you have never been there, folks, please go and check it out. It's not cheap. It's expensive, especially depending on what the euro is doing. But man, oh man, it is one of the cleanest, most amazing. Belgium. We have like almost 10 countries here today. This is fantastic. And I've been to Every single one of them, I believe. I have, yeah, every single one I've been to. And UK, it's like 11 countries. All right, folks. So let's start with the market. As I said, I'm buying this dip, and again, I don't care what the market does in one day. But when I said that the market was near lows of the day, we rallied in a positive territory. We're back down now. We're drifting a little bit lower here with about a little less than 2 hours left in trading. Right now, we have the S&P down 7 points. We're actually up. So it's the lowest level it's been in a couple hours. The Dow's down 180. The NASDAQ is flat. Russell 2000 small mid-cap index is down 1.2%, getting hit the hardest. Oil's getting smoked down over 3%. Gold's little change, little on downside. Silver's down 1%. Speaking of the euro, it's at $1.16 versus the dollar. The one kind of bright light here, other than the Nasdaq kind of holding up, is Bitcoin. It's around 45,718, well off the lows of where we were a couple hours ago. So we're seeing a bit of a bounce here, just really in the last couple of hours. In the last 5 hours, we're seeing a pretty big bounce. It was down around 44,100 or so. So we're about $1,600 off that low, about 4%. So Bitcoin's holding up really well, and it has greatly outperformed gold. And I've said this over and over. I highly, highly prefer Bitcoin to gold any day of the week. We got Czech Republic in the house. One of my good friends, Pavel. His name is Pavel as well. He's a bartender in New York. One of my good friends. One of the greatest guys in the world. All right, so that's where we are with the market. Let's take some of your questions real quick. There's a lot coming through, and then I will go over Miami, but it's from the former USSR. All right, I'll give you that, Vlad. Former USSR. What bar Pavel is at Boca de Baco on 9th Ave and 52nd and 53rd in Hell's Kitchen. Go in there. You tell him you know Matt McCall, you will not pay for a drink. I will tell you that much if you're in Manhattan. Which I will be there next week if anybody wants to buy me a drink. All right, so let's keep going here. You're getting me off topic. Oh, I also, once a week at least, I'm going to start showing you something about me you don't know. And there's a picture back there, right there, that one that I'll talk about next time. But I wore this shirt. Does anybody know who that is? That's the Grateful Dead. Would anybody pick that I was a Deadhead? I had a ponytail down in the middle of my back. I had dreadlocks for a while. I was a real strange kid in college, but at the same time, I played college football, which is what that picture talks about. I'll show you that next week. And that thing over there that looks like two little girls, those are actually my twin grandfather and his twin brother. So anyway, just give a little bit of history, what's going on behind me here. All right, so let's go, keep moving on here. Bitcoin, loving it. Buy all the dips for me. I love it long term. I think we break through 50 probably by the end of the weekend, honestly. And I think we hit a new all-time high by the end of the year. Altcoins should go up with that as well. Also, markets, I'm buying the dips here. We're about to talk about that in a moment. But before I get into the dips, and I have a whole list of stocks, I have about 12 stocks here I want to talk about. There's a couple stocks on my different list that I'm looking at here that, believe it or not, are hitting highs today. And I just want to go through a couple just because in this time where these tech stocks, innovation stocks are getting pulled back, I don't want to be that guy, be negative. I try to be positive as much as possible. I will tell you, today's a rough day to be positive. My launch, my new product got pushed back. There's always legal shit going on. Everybody's trying to screw you. So there's some stuff going on there, but I promise you, I'm working as hard as I can. And I decided today I'm going to lock myself in a hotel room. I'm not quite sure in what city yet, for a few days to finish the book. I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast at the gym today and just listening about how people finish books, and I need to do that. Stephen King does it. I'm going to do it. So we're going to finish this book very soon. I got to pick what city I'm going to lock myself in and get there soon. So a couple stocks started breaking out. I'm not saying nothing here is buy or sells, but these are stocks, though, yet you want to have on your watch list because when they're outperforming, and these are growth stocks, you want to put them on your watch list and look for pullbacks to buy in. One is InMode, which was an IPO not too long ago, middle of 2019. The symbol is INMD. This is a medical equipment company. This is one you really do not want to miss on. I've had this on my watch list for so long, didn't do anything with it. It's minimally invasive aesthetic medical products. And this sector has been tough. It does radio frequency assisted lipolysis, also does subdermal fractional radio frequency technologies. Basically make people look good is what it does. About a $4.2 billion company. It's growing the top line about 16%, bottom line 10%. What I like about those is making a ton of money. It's already making several dollars a share. By 2023, close to $3.60 a share. That's what you want to see. Very, very profitable business. I was profitable when I went public. I should have jumped on it. I didn't. I missed this one, but that's one to keep an eye on. And one I talked about in the past, and it was a SPAC. It's called the Beauty Health Company. They do uh, hyper. Oh gosh, I can't think of it. I get it done. It just escaped me. Anyway, the symbol skin, SKIN. I sold it for a really big gain. I had some myself, and it kept going. It's one again I should have held on to. But that's a great looking company. So when you have two companies like that that are breaking out very similar, it shows there's something going on in that trend. People are spending money on that, even with COVID, because you think people wouldn't spend money on that during COVID. So that's something to keep an eye on, folks. You know, those are trends that you just see when you look at these charts that you can't really ignore. A couple other stocks hitting highs I want to talk about. A couple of these we have exposure to. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Adyen, Adyey. This company had some great numbers last night. It's at an all-time high. Man, oh man, this is a European company. Love this company. It's a payment company, payment platform, and it's 72 billion euros. So it's a pretty sizable company. Numbers were great. It's growing the bottom line by about 26%. Man, by 2023, it's looking to make over 27 euro a share, which is fantastic. You know, the stock price is trading very, very high. It's trading at around 2,500 bucks a share, but man, fair value of this could be double that. This is one to keep an eye on. Trades here as an ADR. We have United Health, UNH, the big healthcare company, just keeps chugging along. That's hitting a new all-time high. And you think of a company like that, United Health, sounds so boring, but you go back and this, you know, in the last 12 years, is a man, oh man, what a 100, you know, this is, wow, a 20 bagger. So a healthcare company, monolithic power systems, MPWR, semiconductors, 5G, all kinds of connectivity. Another huge winner, hitting an all-time high. PepsiCo hitting an all-time high. C Limited, I talked about this the other day, symbol SE. E-commerce in Southeast Asia, you cannot overlook this company, hitting a new all-time high today. When Asian tech companies are getting crushed, this is breaking out. Microsoft hitting a new all-time high today. So there is some light out there. I mean, granted, a lot of my stocks are getting hit. I'm not trying to say I'm not, but there is some light out there. And then just one stock that popped up that's doing well, I will say on this one, is a SPAC, MUDS. This is going to be merging with Topps, the sports cards. They're in the NFT business. I really, really like this, what's going on here. It's always tricky because they're hitting anything that was a SPAC or talked about being a SPAC. So be careful with that. But man, nice looking. And for me, I own it because I'm a sports card geek. I love football cards. So that's why I own it. You know, you invest in what you know, right? Okay, so I just want to go through a couple of those before we jumped into stocks pulling back. All right, so let's take a look here at somebody just mentioned Upstart, UPST. Yeah, that hit a high this week as well, and that was an IPO in December. This company's run up huge gains from the lows. I mean, from the lows to the highs, this stock's up about 700%. It's been a big one. It's since December, folks. This could pull back since it's run up so much, but yeah, that's a nice looking stock. All right, so let's go through this list. Everybody ready? Pencil, paper, ready? First one we're going to take a look at is, and again, none of these are buy or sells. I may have some exposure to these, but I'm not going to tell you which ones. Is 2U, TWOU. I mean, I'm going to zoom in. This stock has been down for like 2 straight weeks after breaking out to a multi-month high. This is online education. The numbers were good for me. You know, a lot of these companies I'm talking about, the earnings were actually decent, if not great, but it didn't matter. It's a $2.7 billion company. It trades with a price to book about 2.9. So kind of right around the market. So, and that looks good. We have top line growth, 14%, bottom line 9. It's still losing money, so that's why it could be getting hit. But it has revenue expectations in 2 years of about 1.3 billion. Again, for a company in 2.7, it's not that bad. So for me, this is online education. Listen, I want kids to get back to school as much as possible. Like, I don't have any kids, but those don't really matter. But I want kids to not miss out on being kids. You know, that's crazy to me. Get them back to school, healthy, safe, like get them back to school, please. They need to experience life, not sitting on devices in the corner like damn room. I see it with my friends' kids. I see it with my niece and nephews. It's sad. It was sad before the pandemic. Now it's even worse. So I'd like to see that. But that being said, 2U deals with colleges, online education. It's a real thing, and it's only growing. So I think this is a solid company. The next one we want to take a look at is MTSI. This is Maycom Technologies. I might have talked about this in the past. This one's pulling back from a high in February, close to 70. It's down to around 56 bucks and change here today. This is one that's not down big, but it has pulled back and it's sitting on some support right here, which I do like. This is a play, in my opinion, on wireless, radio frequency, 5G, which is still a really nice play. $3.9 billion market cap, so it's kind of right in that wheelhouse I like. PEG ratio of 1.2. This is deceiving. You look at a trailing 12-month PE ratio, it's 101. So if you only looked at that, you think this is nuts, this is crazy, it's so high. But because its growth is so high, it's trading at a PEG ratio of 1.2, which is cheap. So top line's only growing by 8%, but bottom line, 86.7%. We're looking for earnings close to $2 by 2023, which really, again, you're looking at a stock that's trading at 57 bucks. It's not bad for a high growth tech company. One I think you want to put in your watch list here and keep an eye on. The next one is Omnicell. It is OMCL is the company. And this is, let's call it healthcare IT. This one has not pulled back that much. It hit 160, then it hit 140. So it's not a huge pullback, over 10% though. Right now it's around 148 and change, about a $6.5 billion company. But they make all kinds of medication management automation and different tools. They have a chat feature for healthcare industry, healthcare systems, and for pharmacies. This one I really like because it's just such a niche area that I love. And I think there's huge upside potential. Top line growth, 13%, bottom line, 27%, with earnings going from only about 75 cents last year to a little over $3 by 2023. So big growth with Omnicell. The stock's done great. It's pulled back from the highs. Pretty interesting looking play there for Omnicell. Ed Burke says Kathy loves 2U, TWOU, which is, I love it too. I think it's a really nice play. So I like that as well. Let's keep moving on. I'm going to go through these pretty quick, so I don't take too much time, and I want to get to them all. One is Lam Research, LRCX, semiconductor equipment company. High price stock, pulling back from around 660, 670 share down to almost 500. It's at 575. It's actually up 1% today. This is a stock that I really like, and I like the equipment makers when it comes to semiconductors, especially with the shortage we're seeing. I think the equipment companies will come out on top. It's about an $81 billion company. It's not tiny. This is a big company, which I'm fine with. Trailing PE ratio of 21, PEG ratio 1.9, price to book 13, so that's really high. So looking into that. But top line growth 9%, bottom line 11. Earnings per share. Think about this. Earnings per share 2024, which is their fiscal year, so it's a little different. So it's really about 2.5 years from now. Nearly $39 a share. So it is at a really high price, but $39 a share. Multiply it by 20. Give it a 20 times earnings. Do the math. That's $780 a share. It's at 560 right now. So, boy, that's not, or 575 right now. It's still, and that's at 20 times. It should be trading at much more than that with the growth it has in the sector that it's in. So, again, one to keep an eye on here as well. Next one is one that was a SPAC. And it's Markforged, MKFG, 3D printing company. After it merged into Markforged Holding and then changed the name and symbol, stock ran from $8 to 11, and it's been down for about 7 straight days or so right now, down to 4.5% today. This company is really fascinating to me because I love 3D printing, but 3D printing is getting absolutely smoked right now. It is so the future of industry, manufacturing. This company to me has huge upside. It's got a ton of clients already. It's got a huge client list. I look at the growth potential. Revenues forecasted to grow 44% a year. So last year had 71 million in sales. It's not huge again, but it's for a company that's only 1.6 billion. For a lot of these small companies have basically zero revenue. It's not bad because they already have clients. By 2023, we're looking for 222 million a share. Again, it's still pricey, but with that type of growth in such a niche area that I think is going to change the way industry is run, it cures supply chain issues, folks. Man, oh man, I see a huge opportunity in companies like this. And not just Mark Forge, a lot of them out there. A little bit bigger company, two of them I'll mention here, Redfin, which is RDFN, and Zillow, which is Z, both online real estate. Real estate's being upended. I'll tell you a quick personal story. I just listed my condo here in Baltimore. So if anybody wants to buy it, it's not even 2 years old. It was brand new when I bought it. So it's not even 2 years old. It's nice. Honestly, it looks like the day I moved in because I'm the most clean freak in the world and I make sure it gets cleaned all the time and I don't spill anything. So if anybody wants to move to Baltimore, come to Charm City. Anyway, so I've been looking at houses at different places, states with no income tax, Tennessee, might move back to Nashville. So I'm looking at houses there. Insanity. But for me, Zillow, Redfin, that's where I do everything. I don't need a realtor because I know Nashville, I know the area, I know Baltimore. It's getting cut out. If I'm selling a house, I am using a realtor here only because it's a weird situation. But why would I pay somebody 6%, 3 and 3? That's a huge amount of money. You can list them. It'll be over. It's not. Realtors are done. Redfin, Zillow, and these pullbacks to me, great long-term plays. Next one is one I've talked about a lot. I love NIO, NIO, which is obviously an electric vehicle company in China. It's down today to the lowest level in like 2.5 months, it looks like. EVs are not stopping in China. This company has huge upside growth. This company, Tesla over there, Li Auto, LI, XPeng, XP EV. I mean, there's so many companies out there in the electric vehicle space. It's crazy to me. Oh, XPeng, sorry. XP EV, I said it right. Could they go lower? Absolutely in the near term. But this is a situation where I look at these companies and I ask myself, do I think they will be bigger in the years to come? 3, 5, 7, 10 years. And I'm looking way out for these. $64 billion company, give or take, for NIO. Yes, I do think it'll be much bigger. The top line is growing 31% for a company that's big. Bottom line, 94%, will make its first profit in 2 years. I mean, my goodness, folks, this company, I don't know. I just, sometimes I don't understand the market because it's not efficient. And I'm glad I don't understand it because if I understood it, it wouldn't make sense because it'd be too damn easy. We'd all understand it. So obviously, you know how I feel about that. Next one, take a look at this. Another duo and a trend that I love. Penn National Gaming, PENN, is down over 50% from its March high. 50%. It's got over 40 properties around the country, big into sports gambling, owns part of Barstool Sports, about 36%. Love it. Right in the same thing, fantasy football. I have my draft coming up. I've been doing my research. We keep 3 guys from last year. My team's not very good. I did make the playoffs last year, I think, but my team's not very good. So we'll see how I draft. I've been doing my research on that in between reading books and stocks. DraftKings, DKNG, big player in fantasy sports betting as well. Sports betting is only going to continue to grow. I think all 50 states within the next 5 to 7 years. Right now, there's 31 states with 4 more, I think, with legislation to pass. There might be 34, 4 more, something like that. But a lot. It's expanded. It's only been around, think this, since 2018. Big, big opportunity, folks. This other one, I love this company. This was a SPAC, Latch, LTCH, ran from 10 to 19, back down to 10, back up to 14. Looked great, and then recently they had earnings and they cut back their guidance, but the numbers were fantastic. Their bookings are up over 90%. This is a great company that's all about the future of smart homes. My goodness, you look at this and it's just, it doesn't make sense. But again, when things don't make sense and you can look out through the trees, through the smoke, whatever the hell you want to call it, that is how you make money in the stock market. Not panic selling for everybody else, not rushing to buy the hottest new thing with everybody else, because you're bound to lose, folks. You will be a loser. All right. 2:25. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I have 5 more stocks. I'll go through these quick, and I'm going to get to your questions, I promise. Another duo here for you. This is a Chinese e-commerce, Pinduoduo PDD. This stock is down from 210 a share to $75. I mean, I would have bought this stock at 100. At $75, it's just getting crushed because of everything in China. Its valuation is now down to about $100 billion. I think this company is worth so much more. I think it's worth double. You look at the growth, top line growth going forward, next couple of years, 26% annual revenue, earnings, 61%. I mean, this is just mind blowing to me, folks. By 2023, it's going to be making, let me do the math here. I got to convert my yuan into US dollars, about $33 billion. And it's trading about 100. So 3-to-1 price of sales. But with growth this much, that's cheap. This stock could be a double easy in the next 12 to 18 months. The other one that falls right in the same category, JD.com. You know, JD was up to nearly $110 a share. It's at 62 today. If it closes here, it's the lowest close since last August. Shit, it's August now. It's almost at a 1-year low, 52-week low. Crazy to me. These are companies in the second largest economy, the largest online economy, e-commerce economy, one of the fastest growing, or the fastest of the largest companies or largest countries. Again, it's a $100 billion company as well. Look at the valuation here. I mean, my goodness, PEG ratio of 0.5, PE ratio of 12. Top line's grown 17, bottom line 25%. Unbelievable. I mean, you look at revenue here, and I mean it's even more impressive than the other one. 200 billion in 2 years, and it's a $100 billion market cap. Just something doesn't make sense. You think China's going to ruin all their companies? You're nuts. I think this is so overblown. I think it's a manipulation. I think big money's buying and dribbling into these. I don't know. There's something funky going on. Unless I'm way out to left field, which is a possibility of that. But I think there's something funky going on. Next one is Incyte, INCY. It's a biotech that's been getting hit, but they have some dates coming up in the next year that I think could be really good for the company. It's about a $16.5 billion company. To me, if they hit on any stuff coming up, it's big potential. PE ratio below 50, PEG ratio 1.3. I like that for a biotech. Top line growth potential on 17%, bottom line 36. If they hit in 2 years, it's making about $4.70 a share. For $74 stock, it's an easy double in my opinion. So again, a little risk with biotech here, but I just see opportunity to be buying down here. Next one, I got 3 more left. Roblox Rblx. And I talked about this one several times already. This is the gaming company, had great earnings. If we weren't in this funk right now in the market, this stock would be up much higher. It's at $81 a share. It's actually held on pretty well, but well off the 105 that we hit earlier. I talked about that recently, so I'm not going to dive into it too much. The next one is Guardant Health, symbol GH. This is a liquid biopsy play for me. Liquid biopsy is a very niche area in the future of healthcare, and I believe will be really something that is so normal when you go to the doctor that it's going to be crazy. Top line growth 27% annually, bottom 11, but big growth potential growing here. And again, just a very niche company that I love. Last one to take a look at is the RealReal, REAL, which is a online retailer, and the RealReal has gotten crushed as well. Was as high as $30 end of February. It's now at $12.55, so it's taken a beating here. This is one where retailers are tough to come by, so you have to be very careful. But it's only a $1.2 billion company, but it's online consignment for luxury goods. To me, this is a great looking company. And it's really in a niche area that I love. You look at growth, top line 23%, bottom line 27%, and you're looking at revenue potential in 2 years, close to $750 million. For a $1.2 billion company, folks, that's cheap. Still losing money, I get that. And I think people are hitting companies that are losing money. They'll get there. They'll be profitable, in my opinion. So just be careful with throwing companies out just because they're not profitable yet. All right. Whew, I just said a lot there. So let me see what we got going on here as far as questions. And when I do these, I honestly just look wherever my eye goes to, I say it. So I'm not picking people's names or picking certain stocks out. I'm literally just looking, and they come out. BYD. Somebody asks, is BYD is the EV play in China? I do like BYD. You are right. BYD. Come on, Matt. I'm trying to pull the ticker here. Is the symbol is BYDDY, and it's BYD's name of the company. It's about to break out to an all-time high. It's at a double top around the low 70s. This is a company that's also involved in batteries, so I like that. So yes, I agree with whoever said that comment, Edward. I agree with you there. Somebody asked about eHang, which is a flying car company. We had taken some profits on this when I used to have the old newsletter back in the day. Stock's down big today. Long term, I still love the flying car aspect of it. You're probably going to see some big names out there. There's been a lot of SPACs that came out that do flying cars. They refer to them as not flying cars, EVTOL. So electric vehicle takeoff or electric vertical takeoff and landing. I still think it's the future, and I think it's actually going to be here before you have autonomous cars. So we'll see what happens with that. Tough call right here with that one. Some asked about the crypto miners. I think Bitcoin hits a new high by the end of the year, so crypto miners should do well with that. They trade with Bitcoin, so I'd hold on and let those run here. I think that's a nice play here. What else do we got? Keys, KEYS. That's a 5G play. That's breaking out today to a new all-time high. Great looking company. Yeah, I love it. I think that's a great company. Let me just scroll back for people that put some stuff in earlier. There's been a lot of comments here, a lot of countries, a couple flags in there. On track, OTRK. This was a stock we had back in the day as well. This got crushed today, down 43%. They came out and said they lost one of their big clients, declined to extend it. I think they got 40 million of the 90 million they're going to get. That's a big deal for a small company like this. So you got to let this play out. I don't know at this point. I would not be buying into the falling knife here. It could. I don't think anybody's buying anytime soon. So you're probably dead money for a while, to be honest with you, when it comes to that. Let's see. Trying to see some stuff I don't talk about every week because I don't want to talk about the same ones. Tattooed Chef, TTCF. This was a SPAC. It's actually held up pretty well, but it's got hit in the last week from 21 down to 16. This is, I think, vegetarian or plant-based food, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, plant-based food company, $1.4 billion company. I've not tried their product, and I don't mind plant-based food. I don't mind their product, though. They have top-line growth of 34%, which I like. Earnings, they're up and down. It's weird. Earnings last year, $1.85, but then they're supposed to go down to like break even this year. So there's not a lot of analysts covering this, but they're saying potential sales of 450 million in a couple of years. So it's not a bad play. I went to a vegan restaurant a few weeks ago in DC, and I didn't even drink. It was the most expensive thing I've ever been to. It was crazy, and it was good, but it was still plants. I mean, it's a plant-based thing, so kind of weird, folks. I had a plant-based caviar, so it was actually made from kelp, which was very interesting. And the sour cream that went with the bellinis, I think it was like cashews or something. I don't know. But if you're going to do caviar, I'd stick to real caviar if I had to give my 2 cents on that. All right, let's keep going down here. Again, I'm just kind of picking them out at random. YOU, which is one, Clear Security, down about 3% today. This is a recent IPO, all over the place, 30s to 50, back to 30s, back to 65, back to 45. It's at 46 and change right now. I think they're going to do well long term. It's they have it at BWI here. They have it at other airports. You go through Clear, and it's your eyes. But it's also something where you're starting to see it potentially. It's only in a couple now, but big buildings, sporting events, and I think you're going to see that especially they mandate vaccines and stuff like that. Shit, I don't know what's going to happen. We might be living in some type of crazy world where they're following you like China. So who knows? But this could do well in that type of scenario for sure. If you want to hedge against that scenario, I think they'll do well. Somebody asked about D-Local, DLO. This is a company that went IPO in June, around $35, fell to 30. up 26% today to $62. So it's having a hell of a day. I don't follow this one much, to be honest with you. I'll see what's happening. They must have had earnings last night, I assume. Um, Let me see what's going on here. It's a payment company as well, which I love payment companies. I just haven't had a chance yet to do my deep dive on this IPO as of yet. But they had an earnings report. Uh, Man, oh man, they had some positive attention here on Wall Street. Stock really was up over 35% at one point. They came in with $59 million for revenue, well above the 40.5 estimate. They posted a profit, which is pretty impressive for a company that just went public. So yeah, it's rallying on that news. Congrats if anybody owns that. I don't have any exposure to that guy right now. Let's see, Verb. I don't know Verb at all. Verb Technology. Tiny company, $1.78. I'd stay. I'm not going to comment on it. It's too small for me to comment here. ALF, Alphi, another tiny one that shot up and came back. A little too much for me. A little too volatile, if you will. Let's see. ASTS, Space Mobile, SPAC that went from 10 to 25, back down to 6, back to 15, back to 8. The space companies aren't getting any love, and they may not get any love for a while. I think I said this last time. It's a space-based cellular broadband network for mobile phones. I love the idea. $1.5 billion company. I think it's a great idea. And you're looking for really big growth, 80% top line growth, 76 bottom line growth. So you're seeing big growth. Still losing money. Still not a lot of money top line. Only looking like 100 million in a couple of years. Down the road, sure, it could be a huge winner. In the near term, I think it's one you got to put under the pillow if you don't want to watch it, because it could be gnarly up and down. So I'd keep an eye on that one. Let's see if I get to any more here. How far into this are we? 37 minutes. Holy shit, time flies, huh? Well, hopefully everybody will come see me too. I'm speaking a couple of times at the Stansberry Alliance event in October in Vegas. So you guys can meet me in person. I'm doing a little spin-off there. So hopefully you guys will come see me there. Let's see, Marvel and TRMR, Marvel's MRVL, 5G play, semiconductor, pulling back from an all-time high. Love it. Looks great here. Looks absolutely fantastic. Great stock. Tremor, TRMR, another IPO, ran up from 15 to 23, back then to 19. We're at 22, big today. Today up 11%. Looks great. It looks good as well. MNMD, Mind Medicine. This is one of the psychedelic plays. Not that I don't believe in it. I think it could be a great cure for a lot of people with mental illness, from what I've read. I just don't like the companies, so I wouldn't touch the companies personally. OLED, Universal Display Corp. This is a big display company. I love it down here. I mean, it's pulled back from 260. It's at the bottom of its range, around 190, 200. It's at 202. So I think it looks actually pretty damn good right there. Hims, which is Hims and Hers, I think, right? Yeah, Hims and Hers Health was a SPAC, went to 25, now it's down to 690. Closes here to be its lowest close. Somebody came out yesterday, was it United Health or somebody else? I can't remember who it was, saying they're basically getting into direct, maybe even Amazon, I can't remember, direct to consumer type stuff like this. So it hit them, and there's no bet. I shouldn't say there's no barrier. There's this light barrier of entry for these big companies to get in and take them over. So they're going to be in trouble here for the near term. All right, folks, I got to do one more thing to get out of here. I can't get to 40 minutes. That's way too long. Here's a great question. What's the difference between the IP ETFs, IBB, which is the NASDAQ Biotech ETF, and XBI, which is the S&P Biotech ETF? They have different holdings. They track different indices. So every time you buy an ETF, if you want to, and again, I think you should always build your own, but if you want to buy an ETF, just because the name says something, it doesn't mean that's what they invest in. These both invest in biotechs, but they're different biotechs. They have different weightings, because XBI is down from its high of 175 to 120, whereas IBB is a week off its all-time high. So keep that in mind. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. What is today? Thursday. I might do one this weekend if anybody's around, if nobody's at the shore or whatever they're doing. I'm gonna see what it looks like. I might try and play some golf, but if not, I'll do one Monday, I promise. And again, my announcement for where I'm going will be soon. I'll tell you that. It's not going to be launched for a little while, but I'm going to start doing some fun stuff here very soon. I'm signing contracts as we speak. And I'm no longer Investor Place. So people keep asking me, I'm no longer there. I can't answer any questions about their business or anything with your subscription. So I've gotten so many calls and emails. My voicemail's packed up. My email's backed up. I would just tell you this: I'm going to do the best by you as far as subscribers, and I will always do the best by you because without you, I don't have a career. So I will promise you that whatever I can do to make everybody whole on my end, to me, subscribers come first. You come first. This makes it fun seeing people here from literally 10 different countries. This shit's amazing. What the internet can do to bring people together. So I'll be here for you, and I'm gonna do everything I can. So don't stop following. We're gonna be there for you, because not everybody's gonna do the right thing, but I will. I promise. I promise. I promise. Have a great freaking weekend. Awesome. Be safe. Be healthy. Enjoy it. Summer's coming to a close soon, but screw it. We could still have fun in the fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. Have a great one. I will give you a hang 10, but I won't do the beer. I haven't drank any alcohol in 40 days. I'm trying to get a little healthier, so nothing in 40 days. I'm gonna see how long we can go. So everybody have a great weekend. Have a freaking martini for me. How's that? All right, guys. Thanks so much. Love you. Talk to you soon.